Okay, so basically inside this door here is where the change gears are. I have got this mostly undone. Okay, so in here are the gears, which it doesn't only affect your threading speeds for pitch per inch or teeth per inch, depending whether you're metric or imperial, but it also, once you change these change gears, it affects the speed of your lead screw, which is this guy here. And so at the moment he is spinning way too fast because I had 1.5 pitch, which oddly enough is what I do need to put on the end of this, 1.5 pitch again. So that means if I want to do a nice amount of turning and have the lathe do the feeding for me, I have to now change it out of 1.5 pitch to the slower feeding for turning, and then when I do the thread I then need to put that 1.5 set of gears back in again. So this is why doing a lot of threading and change gears are a real pain in the butt. So I'm just going to change them out for the ones that I need for turning, and then we'll have a quick look at them. First, actually, what I'll do is I'll show you the speed, what I'm talking about. So make sure everything's clear, and you'll see the speed of the lead screw. Okay, that's the speed of the lead screw. 1.5 pitch for metric threads. So I'll change it over. I'll change it over now for turning. This is the stack of gears which I removed from the lathe, and I misspoke before. These are actually was a pitch of 1.25 for millimetre thread. This is the stack that needs to go back in for turning to give you a fine feed. So here is the unit there with nothing applied yet. Okay, so the change gears are now in there for turning purposes, and when we turn the lathe on, you'll see the lead screw significantly slower than what it was before. What I like to do, I've got some chain lube that I use from the motorbike. I like to give it a bit of squirt. So the gears are nice and lubed. Now we can actually get something done. Okay, ready to go. Now maybe just some final thoughts on the change gears. If you have a lathe that has 2 lead screws, and I'm not sure if this is the right way that I'm thinking, that one lead screw does your threading and the other one does your carriage for feeding, then change gears, you know, while it's not ideal, might not be as bad. But in my lathe, change gears affect the speed of everything, so keep that in mind. Just going to touch off. We'll go in 1/2 mil at a time and see how she runs. Got to get down to 30, and we're about 40 at the moment. So what I might do is push it a bit harder, and we'll go for a mill cut. This is a direct reading cross feed, so 1 mil is 1 mil diameter, not 1 mil each side. So that's 40 thou in imperial. Just let me change the speed, we'll fire up a bit faster, and we'll hook it up to 600 RPM. This is sending chips everywhere. I'm ducking and diving here. Wear your safety goggles, that's for sure, or at least safety glasses. Yeah, I cut that off alright. I'm using insert, the triangle. Thinking about getting some WNMGs, which what are they called? Triple triangle or something? We'll go another mil. Some goop on it. Are breaking off nice, but they are flying everywhere. So being a welder, used to having hot chips landed on you, not so much chips, but welding spatter, etc. But yeah, sometimes it is nicer maybe to go slower and have a little longer pearls so they don't go flying everywhere. But I'm trying to get this done reasonably quick. Okay, so I'll continue on. I'll come back when we're near the diameter that we need. Okay, any suggestions for cutting liquid? I'm using a product at the moment which is made in the USA. I'm not going to say what it is. Seems to go well and everything, but my goodness, does that make a lot of smoke. It does say it's for drilling, milling, threading, broaching, boring, turning, tapping, engraving, reaming and sawing. I have a 6 metre by 9 metre workshop, and with only 2 or 3 passes it fills it up with smoke. I have 2 fans on, one fan blowing basically the smoke away from the lathe, and another one, I've got the side door to my workshop open, and another fan blowing air in. I wonder, is there something else that's better? view of the smoke that I'm talking about. Only 3 or 4 passes. Pushing it a bit down to 60 thousandths for a cut. I'm not getting the longer little 3/4 of an inch curls flying everywhere, but they just, pieces coming off look like they're tearing more, so maybe I need more RPM. Not sure. I might be pushing my luck on this smaller lathe. Yeah, surface really hasn't changed that much. I think I might stick to the 40,000th cut, or 1 mil at 600 RPM. Okay, so this doesn't have to be all that accurate, but let's just practice to be a little bit more precise. So I've got 31.46 millimeters. So I've got another 0.46 millimeters to go. Let's take off. Just think where I am on my settings here. Let's take off 1/4. .25 of a mil. Okay, it's reasonably warm. What have we got? Okay, so 30.39. Take a smidge more off. Huh. 30, right on the money. Not sure if that's going to actually focus on that. Okay, that's not very hot, so that won't really shrink too much. Okay, next stage.